Hi everyone, welcome to Berkeley Watches channel. No waste of time, we are going directly to the point. Well, let me give you a little bit of a background because somebody will start watching this video not understanding what is this all about. First, what was the reason for me to make this video? Well, reason is comprehensive, complex, but what triggered it was the question posted in my Facebook group, Horology Talk, and the question was, why does this group hate TGV so much? Now, my Facebook group consists of approximately 22,200 members from all around the world with different interests in a hobby, different financial abilities, different type of collections, and it is a very free, active group encouraged to share the passion for the hobby, encouraged to share their Facebook groups, encouraged to share their YouTube channels, encouraged to share their podcasts, forums, and so on, all in a purpose of connecting with each other around the world for the purpose of loving and enjoying our hobby. So a large number of our members comes from Urban Gentry Facebook group. And Urban Gentry Facebook group, which is quite larger, at this point I don't really know how many members they have, is fully in service of Urban Gentry YouTube channel, which is kind of like their marketing component of a very vicious business, very direct marketing, very straightforward, with the elements of a cultish approach, elements of brainwashing, not allowing free thought, not allowing free expression, and all in service of Tristano, a person who runs Urban Gentry YouTube channel. Very successful man when it comes to our hobby, someone who managed to turn this into profession, into career, which is not a small task. And someone that I actually at one time wholeheartedly supported. I was the Patreon of Urban Gentry YouTube channel. I was also a member of Urban Gentry Facebook group. Now, my departure from all that was a result of becoming the administrator of another Facebook group. Apparently, one of the rules in Urban Gentry Facebook group is that you cannot be moderator or administrator, or you cannot have another YouTube channel, or basically you cannot compete with Tristano in any shape or form. And then genius that he is in his malicious ways, in a way, is that he separates himself from that Facebook group, making a claim that he has nothing to do with it, and that his administrator is running that group independently for the freedom to sell some straps in a group, which I think is a total lie, because ultimately Tristano calls the shots. Tristano controls the Urban Gentry Facebook group and gives direction to his administrator how to run it, what to do, and in which shape or form to provide support for his main business, which is his YouTube channel. So why am I saying what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain the different styles of Facebook groups. In my Facebook group, you can basically post that Berkeley Watches channel sucks and not be banned. In my Facebook group, you can talk about great job that Tristano does, great job that Archie Luxury does, and you can come in and simply promote your own YouTube channel. That's something that simply is not allowed in Urban Gentry channel. So there is a difference in philosophy. And when I was starting my Facebook group, one of the initial thoughts was, I want to create something opposite of Urban Gentry. Something that will give people freedom of expression. That they can call a watch a shitter if they feel that it is shitter for the right reasons. That people can actually express dislike for a brand and not be banned. That people can actually ask questions freely. That people can get the direction to other forums, other Facebook groups, and get a support in the hobby itself. That people can sell their watches if they like. That people can talk about their collections and their passion freely. And where we can tell someone, hey, stop buying garbage because you're going to run yourself into debt. You will lose the core value of your collection. Anyway, two different philosophies, two different groups. I make a living doing my job. I don't depend on YouTube channel and my Facebook group to make a business, to create a form of income that I need so I can buy my watches, so I can pay my rent, so I can, and so on and so on. Tristano is a different story. So he controls things, but he's doing it in a very dictatorial, very rigid, very angry way. Now that I have given you background, I want to explain to all of you who think that this is about hate, that it's not. Hate is a very strong word. And in case of Tristano, I can assure you that I, as an administrator, and all our moderators don't hate Tristano. We basically have no interest in helping Tristano, or we simply don't find his YouTube channel or his work impressive. We have nothing to learn from him. He is boring and non-entertaining. We don't find it too charming discussing things with the plastic toys. And we simply don't really feel that he is genuine to collect my thoughts. I don't want to say things that are incorrect. So, genuine, he is opposite of genuine. So what and I'm going to speak for myself, what I don't like about Tristano. I'll be very specific. The first thing I don't like is that he betrays people. He basically takes advantage of people. He creates some form of relationship and gets out of them what he needs, and he discards them. He lacks elementary loyalty. And I will start with his relationship with Archie Luxury. There are videos, there are emails, there is so much documentation to show that Tristano was a huge fan of Archie Luxury. He was trying to appease him. He was trying to impress him. He was his number one fan. He pulled out of Archie what he needed from Archie. I don't know specifically what. I'm not going to go into those details. But eventually, Archie doesn't exist for him. There is no ounce of recognition of the relationship you had. There is no ounce of recognition of that appreciation that existed between two individuals. So, what happened? Nothing. Who is Archie? Nobody. He's discarded. He doesn't exist. I keep going. That's Tristano. The next person, Federico, who is truly a nice guy. He was with Tristano. He appeared on his videos, on his channel. Then Tristano appeared on Federico's channel. They acted like the greatest friends. Federico even helped him when he was in a hospital, covering for him on his channel, keeping between him and his fan base, running donations for Tristano when he was in the hospital. I know I donated. And hey, he also sold him the Pepsi, the GMT Master 2, under the value. So he did some nice things for this guy. And then, again, nothing. He doesn't exist. He's gone. No loyalty, no ounce of respect for a former friend. Same thing with the Christian from Theo and Harris. These three gentlemen were appearing on the shows together. I think Tristano was slightly upset because in these kind of appearances, when three of them were together, it was very obvious that he lacks knowledge. It was very obvious that he is not a genuine watch enthusiast as Federico is, as Christian is. You don't have to like Federico, you don't have to like Christian to acknowledge these people are watch geeks. They're genuine watch fans. It's not about liking, it's about the fact that he was odd man out. And that did not work in his favor. So, on his YouTube channel, eventually these recommendations for Federico channel, Christian channel, and their presence in Urban Gentry Facebook group was done. They were gone. They were kicked out. So, we have Archie Luxury, we have Federico, we have Christian. Three people from our YouTube community, all three very different, all three successful in their own ways, yet they all contributed in some shape or form to Tristano's overall success. Does he ever acknowledge that? Does he ever talk positive about these gentlemen? Do they actually not exist for him? I don't appreciate that. I don't like that. It leaves a very bad taste. I don't like people who are disloyal. I don't like people who lack integrity. And Tristano, you have zero integrity. Zero. Now, let's talk about some things that I appreciate about Tristano. His ability to produce quality intros, excellent. His ability to create high quality video, excellent. And then we kind of stop, right? That's pretty much it. His knowledge when it comes to watches, insignificant, irrelevant, non-existent. And for someone who's been so many interrupted by the phone call. I'm back. So for someone that's been so many years into the watches, you should learn something, honestly. Don't just read from what someone else writes or whatever. It's just pathetic. Anyway, so what else? What else bugs me is pushing this aristocratic background. Oh, no, I don't want to talk about it, but yet we are talking about it all the time. I don't want to mention, but yet we are mentioning. We know more about his grandfather on a horse and a bloody big clock pocket clock, whatever he has, then we should know. It's a focus always on him, on his background, on his aristocracy, on his studies of art in Firenze, of his perfect combination of Italian and Englishman. It's like, enough. It is a show. It is pretend. But you know what? Have a subtle approach. Because what he's doing is not subtle. It is very aggressive. It is very in your face. And only newbies, rookies, and those who don't have ability to read between the lines, to read people, they will make a mistake. How do I know? I made a mistake. I thought at one point this guy is the best thing that happened to our hobby. So I was wholeheartedly, genuinely supporting his channel and himself. I was donating the money. I was very active in his Facebook group. I was recommending his channel to friends, to people, and I did everything to promote Urban Gentry and Tristano, thinking there is a young man, enthusiastic, full of energy and passion, and he can bring our hobby to younger people, which he kind of did. You got to give him a credit, because among all those people, there is a lot of those who had no interest in watches, but now they do. So it's not all, it's never black and white. There is always shades of gray. So do I hate Tristano? Furthest from it. Honestly, furthest from it. I wish him all the best. But in the same time, I'm not going to stop saying what I know. I'm not going to stop giving my opinion. I was in a position when I was in Urban Gentry Facebook group where I attempted to say certain things I disagreed. And I occasionally got away with it because at one point I was a relatively influential member of that group. But eventually, with creating a new Facebook group, I didn't even have a YouTube channel at that point, I became a threat, or I don't know what it is. I was not good enough to stay there. And then I had opportunity to actually learn more about Tristano, his lack of loyalty, his inability to be direct and transparent. I'm not going to say dishonest. He lacks transparency. So right now I have a YouTube channel which is almost 5,000 subscribers. I have a Facebook group which is almost 23,000 members. And I am going to say whatever I want. I don't give a damn. I'm going to say exactly what I read, what is there, what's evident. So, to answer your question, my dear friend in Horology Talk group, nobody in our group hates TGV. We just don't like his lack of loyalty, his lack of knowledge, and his lack of transparency. Those are three factors that simply don't work for us. Now, that also answers the question, why so many followers of the Watchbox group were not very pleased when Tristano weaseled his way in Watchbox world. I mean, these are serious collectors. These are people who have a highest regards for our hobby. These are people with strong opinions, alpha males. These are not your pushovers and type of people who follow Tristano. So obviously there's going to be a clash. You have on one side one of the most knowledgeable YouTube personalities when it comes to the watches and horology, Tim Amaso, a gentleman with a Navy integrity, gentleman who is transparent, direct, educated, well-spoken. And on the other side, you have someone who got where he is through some shady tactics, without genuine knowledge, and as I mentioned, the three lacking elements. So obviously there's going to be certain disagreement, conflict, and it just is not going to work, guys. It's never going to work. This whole idea of two different approaches, hey, I am sure there are some different type of watch enthusiasts that could click in that whole scene. And they already have them. There's the watch box is full of different personalities who passionately love watches, who are transparent, honest, direct, relatively knowledgeable. So why search from outside getting someone who is infomercial style guy? Anyway, that's my answer to the question why this group hates TGV so much. We don't hate TGV. We really don't. I personally don't. I still watch his videos occasionally. I don't necessarily finish them because they tend to be extremely boring, but I watch them. Friends that I have, they usually criticize me, but I watch everything. I watch everything I find worth watching, worth exploring. And that's it. That's the story. Nobody hates you, Tristano. We just don't like your lack of transparency, your lack of knowledge, and definitely, buddy, your lack of loyalty. You are one disloyal. Let me not say exactly what. That's it for today. Enough on this video. I gave my opinion. I made this risky video. I'm probably gonna get a lot of urban hate. Guys, don't hate me for telling the truth. I love watches. I don't like fake watches, and I don't like fake people. All the best to all of you, especially to you, Tristano.